Hey, how's it going, everybody? I'm Jake. This is Press to Play Rewind for the world of film this week. We're going to talk about a couple of stories here. There wasn't a lot in the world of film or gaming this week that really caught my attention. No gigantic stories, really. So we just picked a couple here that are kind of interesting. So I'm not alone today. We've got Ian back from last week. Ian, how you doing, my man?
Good. It's good to be back.
I really appreciate you being here. I know it was kind of last minute, but it was awesome that you were able to jump on here. So let's just jump right into our first story here, and that is Tron 3. Now, I really wanted to talk about this because this is the news article all over the internet. Everywhere I went, I saw it on Facebook, Twitter, I saw something on Instagram, I was all over YouTube. People are talking about Tron 3, and it's confirmed and everything. So what the story is, basically, there is a possibility that Tron 3 could surface again, thanks to Disney+. Now, I want to set the record straight here. This is very, very, very far from a sure thing. This is not confirmed in any way. Let's just get that out in the open first. This didn't come from any legit sources like Deadline, Variety, Hollywood Reporter, Disney themselves. Nothing like that really happened. But it did come from somebody in Disney. So this came from Mitchell Lieb, and he's president of music and soundtracks at Disney, and he was being interviewed on a podcast called Light the Fuse, where he said, now with Disney Plus, in reference to Tron, he said, now with Disney Plus, I think there's opportunities to be creating content that we otherwise wouldn't have been able to create because we're in the movie business. Disney Plus, I think, is going to afford us the opportunity to expand and get much more diversified in the kind of content we can create. We've already got a great script, a really phenomenal script that we're very excited about. Whereas the timing wasn't right to have done it years ago, I think we feel like the timing is right now, and I feel like we've learned a lot of lessons from the last movie. He also goes on to say that he desperately, if this thing happens, one of his first steps is trying to get Daft Punk back to score a potential third film. I really like Tron a lot, but I know that Ian is a bigger Tron fan than I am, so I'm going to pass this over to you right away. Obviously, this isn't a sure, done deal yet, Ian, but hearing the news and hearing the possibility of this thing coming to Disney+, what are your initial impressions?
I'm really excited about it. I really want it to actually be a thing because I thought the last Tron was just so good, and Daft Punk being in it and making a lot of its music was so great to the point where I have a record of the Tron soundtrack right next to me.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I really like the Tron films. I saw the original. I had never seen it up until, Tron Legacy was about to come out. And I was in school, I was in college, and one of my fellow students borrowed me a copy that he had of the original. I really enjoyed it. It was a really unique, weird movie. I had never really seen anything like it before. Jeff Bridges as Kevin Flynn was awesome. Later that year, I got to go out to the theater and see Tron Legacy, and I loved that movie. They took the world that the original set up and expanded on it like crazy. The visual style they made with Legacy was incredible. I'd argue very iconic. You don't see anything that looks like that without immediately being like, that looks like Tron Legacy. And like you said, Daft Punk's score is one of the most memorable scores I can think of in a movie. The action was cool. The Tron bikes looked really cool. It was just a really cool film, and I've always wanted them to do another one. And so hearing any amount of life still beating, a little bit of a heartbeat left in this Tron 3 project is kind of music to my ears. How do you feel about the potential of it coming to Disney Plus as opposed to theaters?
It would be great to see it in theaters, but I'm okay with seeing it anywhere if it's another Tron movie, because Tron is so great. And I know they're trying to do it a couple years ago. They're going to use the funding from Tomorrowland to make Tron 3, but since Tomorrowland kind of failed, they kind of put it on the shelf for now. Mm-hmm. So hopefully we see it again.
I would really like that. I think he's right. Disney Plus is the way to do it. I don't think Tron is a big enough box office draw to justify putting it in theaters, especially when we don't know what's going to happen with the theater outlook in the next couple of years.
That's true.
I think Disney Plus is a really good opportunity for something like this to happen. And if it does happen, I'm curious to see the route they go, because at the end, correct me if I'm wrong, but at the end of Legacy, doesn't Korra and main dude, they get out, and Korra, who is from Tron, is out in the real world.
Yeah.
So that the possibilities there of like the Tron world and the real world sort of merging could be really, really fascinating to explore. So as this is not a done deal, it's still not even remotely confirmed, I'm still kind of excited, and I really, really do hope this happens.
It would be great to see it. At the end of Legacy, they kind of hinted, like, oh, maybe we'll make another one, but haven't heard anything yet, so I'm really excited.
Yeah, I know, and I think there's a lot of people who are like us in that boat where we're like, okay, we really liked those movies. They made that movie thinking Tron was going to do really, really well and be a big old franchise for them, and I just don't think it hit that level where they could justify doing a whole franchise. But I think there's enough energy about it now over the last few years, and especially now, where they might see this kind of buzz going on the internet with this one little comment and be like, okay, let's take a look at that. So fingers crossed over here.
Yeah, right.
All right. So like I said, there wasn't a ton of like gigantic earth-shattering news or anything this week in the world of film, but there is something that I found absolutely fascinating that I don't see a ton of people talking about. Variety just confirmed this week that there is a spin-off series focusing on the corruption of Gotham PD set to release on HBO Max, and it is a spin-off of the new Matt Reeves Batman film with Robert Pattinson that's coming out next year. Let me just read what Variety said here. HBO Max has given a series commitment to a drama set in the Gotham Police Department from Matt Reeves and Terrence Winter. The untitled series will be set in the world Reeves is creating for the feature film The Batman, with intent being to launch a new Batman universe across multiple platforms. It is said to build on the film's examination of the anatomy of corruption in Gotham City. So, first of all, HBO Max drama set in Gotham PD. Hell yes, I'd love to see it. I'm in. But the bigger part of the story for me is that we officially know Warner Brothers' intentions with this Matt Reeves Batman movie. After Ben Affleck left and after Robert Pattinson got cast in this role of Batman, we weren't really sure. You know, it was sort of implied and hinted that this was not going to be part of the DCU in any way. But this sounds like this is confirmation. This is not connected to the DCU in any way, shape, or form. And to go one step further, they're creating an entire Batman universe centered around this movie and Robert Pattinson as Batman. I think this is huge, gigantic news. It's extremely exciting. Ian, what are your impressions about all of this?
I guess we'll see how it goes. I know they've been trying to branch out in the Batman universe with, like, Gotham, that TV show. I haven't really watched it, but it seems like an interesting concept. I guess we'll just see how it goes.
And yeah, I mean, Gotham I thought was a really good show for the first couple of seasons, and then I fell off with it. You know, I jumped ship after a while.
Right.
It stopped working for me. But, you know, HBO has a reputation for creating great television, and with Matt Reeves involved too, you know, he's a great director, and to see that they're thinking this much about this Batman movie, I think Robert Pattinson's going to be really interesting in the role. I like the suit quite a bit. You know, I'm super excited for the movie overall. You know, we got Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman, we got Riddler in there, we got Penguin in there. I think Colin Farrell was Penguin. There's all sorts of stuff going on with this movie that I'm already super excited about. And to see that Warner Brothers has enough confidence in the direction this is going to say, we're going to create a universe around this, they might be putting the cart before the horse a little bit. Like Universal did that with their Dark universe. And they had all these, you know, actors come out, and Johnny Depp's going to be the Invisible Man, and this person and this person. And the first movie was The Mummy, and it bombed hard, and then the whole thing got scrapped, right? So maybe they're putting the cart before the horse. We don't know how this Batman movie is going to go, but from everything I've seen, it seems really promising. So I'm really pretty excited about it.
If I hear it's good, I think it might convince me to get HBO Max, because there's a couple shows on there that I'm like, I would watch that, but I don't want to spend money for another streaming service.
And that's kind of the interesting thing, because I mean, we've got it all at this house. We've got Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, Disney Plus, Apple TV Plus, Funimation. You name it, we're subscribed to it, right? Except for HBO Max. I got a free trial of it when it came out. It didn't blow me away. You know, it's got HBO's content on it, and it's got some other stuff. There was a really good Elmo talk show that I got to watch with my kid, but beyond that, it just didn't hold me enough to where I'm like, do I really want to pay $15 a month for this? I don't need it right now. Maybe, like you said, maybe this will be the one that kind of pulls me in. And I'll be curious to see if this releases before or after the movie releases. Because if it releases after the movie, and I love the movie, then I think I will absolutely go check out this show. If it doesn't, will I really care? And plus, if the movie is horrible, I doubt it. But if it is, what does that mean for the show, right? That's where the sort of are they jumping the gun a little bit comes in.
Right.
One thing that I think is really interesting too is they have Jeffrey Dean Wright. I think his name is. Is that his name? Jeffrey Dean Wright. Let me. No, that's Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Just Jeffrey Wright. Jeffrey Wright is playing Commissioner Gordon, which I think is a really interesting choice. I think he can totally pull off that Commissioner Gordon role. But if this is within universe and in Gotham PD, I wonder if Jeffrey Wright would be part of this show as well, if they'll do that sort of actor crossover, or if this is just going to be a total spin-off thing.
It'll be interesting to see.
I don't know, but overall, I'm super excited about this. I can't wait to find out more about this whole Robert Pattinson Batman thing. I want to see trailers. You know, we saw the most footage we've seen of this movie is the Batman stunt double falling off of his motorcycle.
I haven't seen that.
It sounds funnier than it is, but there was a lot of good memes going on about it. He's just kind of, it's, you know, behind the scenes, and he's kind of zooming by, and then he sort of slips out. And it might have even been intentional for, you know, the shot,
right.
But it was funny when that sort of got leaked online. But I want to see the real deal. I want to see Catwoman. I want to see the Riddler. I want to see Penguin. I think this is going to be a really cool movie, and I'm super excited that they have this much confidence in it to already greenlit a show like that. I think that's pretty interesting. And that is our very short episode of Press to Play Rewind for the world of film this week. Like I said, there wasn't really a ton out there. The biggest other news that I saw is Wonder Woman is going to have some scenes on Themyscira. Shocker. Whatever, right? So, Nothing too crazy. Ian, I want to thank you again for being here. It's problem. Some kind of quick, exciting stuff. Nothing too wild. But, yeah, I mean, overall, I'm pretty excited. How did you guys feel about this stuff? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up by hitting that like button. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button to be the first to know when I upload a new video. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at PressToPlayOK. Ian, thank you so much for being here. And we'll talk to you all later. Bye.